Hey there, movie fans. Welcome to the Blues of November 2018. And as you can see, my old background is back again. The room that I was renovating is finished. Well, almost finished. But I might do a little video tour around the room someday. That is, if you want me to. But I decided to do it the old-fashioned way again because it's actually easier for me to do it than in my movie room. But anyway, I picked up a lot in November, a lot more than I should have. But first of all, I'd like to thank Mr. Shagrat, Kyle, for helping me out getting this HMV exclusive release of Mandy. This is the VSS, packaging. Looks very nice. It's actually a lot smaller than I thought. I thought it would be, same size as Stranger Things, but it's actually a very nice release. And I really like the movie. It's a bizarre, surreal, psychedelic, nightmarish, atmospheric revenge movie, unlike anything I've ever seen. And this is the second stylish revenge movie that came out this year. The other one is Revenge, which I loved as well. But this has more style. It's visually more mind blowing, and the director Panos Cosmatos. He certainly has an extraordinary visionary mind. By the way, he is the son of George P. Cosmatos, who is the director of Tombstone, Rambo, First Blood Part 2, Cobra, of Unknown Origin, the Cassandra Crossing, to name a few. And this is also the final film that Johan Johansson worked on. He is an Icelandic composer who died suddenly earlier this year, and he did an amazing job with the score. Really great score. He also did the music of the three Denis Villeneuve films, Prisoners, Sicario, and Arrival. But it's very sad that he's not around anymore, because he was a fantastic composer. But anyway, I really like the movie. And word of advice: don't do any drugs before watching this movie. Bad idea. Now, Mandy was made by the son of a director, and so is this one, Sicario, Day of the Soldado. This is directed by Stefano Sollima, and he is the son of Sergio Sollima. And if you're a fan of spaghetti westerns, then that name ought to sound familiar to you. Sergio Sollima directed three of the best spaghetti westerns ever made, in my opinion. The Big Gun Down, Face to Face, and Run Man Run, all three starring Thomas Millian. And he directed more films, of course, like Violent City with Charles Bronson. So Stefano followed his father's footsteps, and he also directed some episodes of the Gomorrah TV series, for example. And he did a really good job with this sequel. Not as good as the first movie. I mean, the first one was absolutely brilliant, but this is a very solid sequel. And I just love Benicio del Toro's character, Alejandro. He's a kind of badass character you don't see much in movies these days. Now, there will be a third movie, and apparently Taylor Sheridan, the screenwriter, will be directing it. And rumor has it that Emily Blunt, who was in the first movie, will return in part 3. But very good sequel. The only thing I don't like is the title, Day of the Soldado. I mean, the story it takes place in several days, so this doesn't really make any sense. Originally it was just called Soldado, and I think they should have stick with that. And by the way, I bought a 4K Blu-ray player and a 4K television, and it's just amazing. I am absolutely happy with it. It looks absolutely amazing. I bought the television on Black Friday, by the way. The Blu-ray player I bought from a website, a website that makes these Blu-ray players region-free. So, of course, I wanted to have a region-free Blu-ray player. But I'm very happy with it. It looks amazing. This movie looks absolutely amazing in 4K. And speaking of 4K, I also picked up Cliffhanger, which I haven't seen yet in 4K, but no, I haven't seen this movie for a long time. Oh yeah, this is the old DVD that I got. I actually put it in here. But it says here, one of the best action thrillers of the 90s. I actually think it's one of the best action thrillers of all time. But yeah, cannot wait to check this out. And I also got these 4K box set of the three John Carpenter movies: Escape from New York, They Live, and The Fog. All beautiful box sets. I'm not going to show the whole thing. I know that Carlos, Eastwood for Life fan, did a movie of The Fog, and he is going. Oh, I'm so sorry, a video on this Fog set, and he is going to do a video on this set and this one as well. So if you want to see more of these sets, check out. Oh, I'm making a mess again. Check out Carlos's video. Okay, the next 4 titles are movies with Burt Reynolds. Excuse me. He died a couple of months ago, and the first one is Hooper, a very enjoyable tribute to stuntmen. It was directed by a stuntman, Hal Needham, who worked with Reynolds many times. He also directed the first 2 Smokey and the Bandit movies. White Lightning. This is Burt Reynolds on a path of vengeance, looking for the ones who killed his brother. Excellent movie, this one. And I also got the sequel, Gator, which was directed by Reynolds himself. I like the the James Bond-ish artwork there. And the last one, this is a film I should have picked up years ago, but better late than never, is the Disney book of Deliverance. And I don't think I need to tell you what this movie is about. It doesn't really need any introduction. It's one of those films that you need to see before you die. Outstanding film. I bought season 3 of Fear the Walking Dead. In my previous update, I got the first 2 seasons for a good price, and I got this one for a good price as well. And I heard season 3 is the best season yet. And I also got season 1 of American Gods, which I'm very much looking forward to. I heard really good things about this one, based on the book by Neil Gaiman, which is always good. I use the word good a lot, do I? Sorry about that. But I'm going to use it again because the next 2 box set I got for a good price as well, and they're both from Germany. The Agatha Christie edition. Now this has Evil Under the Sun with an all-star cast. Actually, each of these films has an all-star cast, really. This is Murder on the Orient Express. This is the 1970s Sidney Lumet version, of course, not the recent Kenneth Branagh movie. The Mirror Cracked. And this is Dead on the Nile with Peter Ustinov as Inspector Poirot. You know, of all the actors who ever played this iconic character, Ustinov is my favorite one. And the other German box set is the Hammer Film Edition. Now these are pretty much the same Blu-rays as the ones from the UK, but this box set is a lot cheaper than all of the individual UK releases combined. Anyway, let me show you what it contains. This is Fear in the Night with Peter Cushing. Straight On Till Morning. Demons of the Mind. Blood from the Mummy's Tomb. Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde. Scars of Dracula with Christopher Lee. And this is the last one, Horror of Frankenstein. Isn't this David Prowse? Yeah, I guess that's the guy, right? That's the man who was inside the Darth Vader suit. Yeah, I think that's him. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's him. Okay, next one is Redbot, or Redbat. In Dutch you say Redbot. But this is the second film in what was supposed to be a trilogy. You know, each film chronicles a different period in Dutch history. The first one was Michiel de Ruiter, internationally known as Admiral. This is the second one, like I said. And the third one would be about Willem of Orange and the 80-Year War. And the chance that that movie will ever be made is small, because Redbot didn't do very well at the Dutch box office. In fact, it is the biggest flop in Dutch cinema history. And that's a shame, because I would love to see a film about Willem of Orange. You know, he is one of the most, if not the most important historical figure of the Netherlands. And perhaps Redbot will make its money back eventually, especially in the international market, but I don't know. I mean, I've never heard of this figure before, Redbot, and I think that's one of the reasons why it underperformed, at the box office. Most Dutch people did not know who he was, but the film itself is the Dutch answer to Braveheart, and the question, of course, is it as good as Braveheart? Absolutely not. It ain't very good at all. Some of the acting is laughable, some of the dialogue is laughable, it's full of flaws and cliches, and with a running time of 2 hours and 40 minutes, it is way too long. And yet, I do admire Roel René for doing something like this. He's a hit and miss director. He made more misses than hits, but still, he's a very likable guy, and he can easily infect you with his enthusiasm and his passion for filmmaking. So much so that you just forgive him for this mess of a movie. We never had a film like this before, and we never will. It's a rarity in Dutch film history. But René, he's like the Dutch Michael Bay. Everything is big, everything is bombastic, everything is over the top. The camera is constantly moving from every possible angle. He's a visual director rather than a storyteller. Visual style comes first, story comes next. That's the kind of filmmaker he is. And as you can see, Jonathan Banks is in it. Now I love Jonathan Banks. He played my favorite character in both Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, but in Redbot he is miscast. He plays the Lord of the Franks, and he does it with a very heavy American accent. You know, he didn't even try to use a foreign accent. He just used his own accent. And you just have to laugh about that, you know. And even if he did had a foreign accent, it would have been more ridiculous. He would have sounded like a character from Allo Allo, you know, which is a British comedy series from the 80s and early 90s. For those who don't know what I'm talking about. But would I recommend this movie? No, only to those who are fans of these kind of, you know, historical epic films, and to those who needs a good laugh. Now here's a Dutch film that is much better, Bankier van het Verzet, which means Banker of the Resistance, but the official English title is The Resistance Banker. Banker of the Resistance sounds better, but anyway. It's based on a true story. You know, two brothers who are bankers finds a way to finance the resistance in Nazi-occupied Holland. And yeah, this is an excellent film. If there's one type of films we are very good at, then it's World War II films, you know. And you can actually watch this on Netflix, by the way, except in Holland, Belgium, and Luxembourg, because we have to wait a little longer for it. Not me, because I have it on Blu-ray. But I would definitely recommend you checking this out. It's really good. Excellent film. Next is Deadbeat at Dawn. Now this is a low-budget, independent, raw, gritty slice of guerrilla filmmaking, and the man behind it is Jim Van Bebber. You know, Van Bebber was a film student who was going into his third year when he saw The Evil Dead, and that inspired him to go and make his own movie. So he quit film school and he used his student loan to finance what became Deadbeat at Dawn. And he only had the time to shoot the movie on the weekends, and it took him almost 4 years to complete it. And the result is highly entertaining. I don't think this is everyone's cup of tea, but I quite liked it, and the final 10-15 minutes is, you know, no holds barred, insane. You know, Van Bebber did everything. He directed it, he wrote it, he produced it, edited it, he provides the makeup effects, did his own stunts, and he stars in it. You know, he plays the leader of a street gang who wants to get out, but then his girlfriend is killed by a rival gang and he's out for revenge. But yeah, I really liked it, and this is a fantastic release, which is no surprise because, you know, Arrow always puts out fantastic releases. Let me show what it has. Of course, it comes with the Blu-ray, some nice background artwork. This is one of those cards, and of course you got the booklets as well, with lots of information. There's a Van Bebber right there. This was insane. Yeah, the ending was just insane. And you know, this also has many bonus features, as you can expect from Arrow, including 4 short films that Van Bebber did. So yeah, fantastic release, and a very enjoyable movie. And speaking of fantastic releases from Arrow, I also got this one from Candyman. Great horror film, of course, and a beautiful set. This is what the other side looks like, and of course you got the bonus features and 2 different versions. The US R-rated version and the original UK theatrical version, which has some you know, alternate, more graphic footage, which is always good. You have the poster here, Of course, the Blu-ray. This is the booklet with the storyboards. And inside this one is you know, some lobby cards and another booklet over here as well. And of course you got the Blu-ray and the, oh yeah, 2 Blu-rays. Usually it's a Blu-ray and a DVD, but in this case it's 2 Blu-rays. But yeah, fine release. And again, a great movie. The next 2 are yeah, Blu-rays that I got from Deep Discount. They had a sale going on. The first one is the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Fantastic film. Really, really good film. But I do have to admit, I prefer the first remake from 1978, you know, with Donald Sutherland. I think that's a better film. But at least, you know, this is a lot better than the 2 versions that came after that. You know, the Ava Ferrara version, and especially the Nicole Kidman, you know, recent movie that, well, recent. I believe it came out 10 years ago now. I thought that was very disappointing, but excellent film. And the other one is a Western called The Night of the Grizzly with Clint Walker. I haven't seen it one yet, but I'm looking forward to it. Okay, last but not least, I picked up some Asian movies. Excuse me. City of Violence, which is a Korean film. Haven't seen it for years, but I remember it was very good. This is Invisible Target, a spectacular action film with great fight scenes. A lot of bones are being crushed, and also a lot of glass are being shattered. You know, an unusual, huge amount of glass are being shattered in this movie. You know, the director, Benny Chan, did not want any stuntmen. He wanted his actors to do their own stunts, and you can clearly see it, by the way. But, you know, Benny Chan is not related to Jackie Chan, although he did work with him several times on movies like Who Am I and New Police Story. And speaking of Jackie Chan, I purchased the Blu-ray box set of Project A 1 and 2. You know, I enjoyed the first movie more than the second one, but they're both great fun, and the stunts are insane. You know, there's one scene in the first movie where Jackie is hanging on the clock, an obvious homage to Harold Lloyd's Safety Last, and he falls down, and the moment he hits the ground, you could not help but, you know, look away. I mean, that must have been very, very painful. And he did that stunt a couple of times, and each time he hit the ground, it's hard to watch. You know, it's a miracle that he survived that. You know, he could have broken his neck or something, but yeah, the incredible stunt work in these films. But yeah, that's it for my November update. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.